Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hello, welcome back to our channel. We are the Muslim Family Adventurers. Today I'll be talking about something fun and exciting. I'll be talking about our Utah and Arizona itinerary, about a 7-day trip you can plan with this itinerary, things to do, places to go, driving distance in between each of the sites, and how many days we stayed at each place before we moved on to the next place. So we flew into Las Vegas. We took an early morning flight, and so we were able to spend the majority of the daytime in Las Vegas to see the family-friendly sites. We wanted to stay during the daytime so that we didn't want to see the night scene, so we wanted to stay during the daytime and just enjoy the family-friendly things and leave that area. So we went to a couple of the hotels. Each of the hotels has their unique things that they offer, and they're very beautiful hotels. So each of them offer different unique things, and so we started at the Venetian Hotel, which is where we took our gondola ride. So that is the Italian version of their hotel, and you know, the architecture is just amazing, beautiful windows and lighting and pictures everywhere. It was very nice. Their area where the mall starts, it's almost like the ceiling, they have put up wallpaper where it's clouds and blue sky, so it's almost like you walk in there and you're just like, wait, am I outside? What just happened? And so it's actually wallpaper that they made indoors, so it feels like, and then the pathway is like cobbled rock, and so it feels like you're in Italy or in Little Italy with the little canal going in between. And so that's where the gondola rides were going back and forth, and so it was unique. It was very nice. I've never seen that before, those types of malls where there's shops on the side and then cobbled roads and this little canal going through with the gondola and music, and it was very nice. So that was the Venetian, and the Palazzo. They're connected, and they have this mall over there. So that's where we took the gondola ride, and that was the highlight of my trip, because that's the kind of romantic things that I'm looking for. 4 people can sit in each gondola, so we had to split our family of 5, and so that kind of brought the romance down a little bit, but it's okay. After that, we went over to the Bellagio Hotel. In the Bellagio, they have the fountain running and the water show in the front of the hotel, and that's definitely a highlight, and what you see when you see pictures of Las Vegas. That water show starts at 3 p.m. And I think it goes on all night. And after that, in the Bellagio, they also, when you walk inside, they have a stunning conservatory there. So that conservatory has flowers and roses and some architecture and butterflies. It was very nice. So they had a 6 feet distance line, so it took a little bit to get into the conservatory, but once you get in, you can take pictures and take your time and walk through it, and it was definitely very relaxing and very nice. Afterwards, we went over to the Paris Hotel, and for me, I needed those chocolate crepes. So they have Nutella crepes, and they have some savory crepes, I believe, as well. But we were there for the Nutella crepes, and so I got that. I got my picture with my light post, and that was the highlight. Same thing in the Paris Hotel. They had when you walk into the streets of Paris, they have the blue sky up top, even though you're indoors, and that's that wallpaper again, where you're in the streets of Paris, and there's shops on the sides and light posts and cobbled streets and blue sky indoors. So that was pretty exciting. From the Paris Hotel, we walked a little bit further to the American side of the Las Vegas Strip, where the kids were really excited for the M&M world and the Hershey world. So that's where the Statue of Liberty is, and on the little mini Statue of Liberty and all that is on that side of Las Vegas Boulevard. And in the M&M store, obviously, the kids were just, it was as if they walked into heaven. There were walls of M&Ms with different flavors and all the colors that they have created, and so we let the kids kind of choose a little bit of each one so that they can, there was sugar cookie M&Ms and God knows what, so they got a little bit of each thing, and that was the highlight of their trip. And so yeah, so it is a 4-mile walk. I recommend, we did get tired, so that M&M store was the motivation for them to get there. But the way back, there was a little bit of whining, and they didn't want to walk back. So I would recommend that you park. It's free parking, so you can park at the Venetian, enjoy that area, and then if you want to drive further and park at the American side and then enjoy that area separate, I would recommend parking on both ends rather than walking the whole thing, unless you know, we were actually on a walking challenge. So we were for our local masjid, and so that was exciting for us. So we just we were like, you know what, let's get our steps in. So that was the day I think we had the highest number of steps. So if you're listening, Huda, this is why. All right. So we wanted to spend just the daytime at Las Vegas, and we didn't really want to be part of the night scene. So we kind of before dark, we got out of that area, and we started our trip to see what we came for, which was for the national parks. So we drove. We had our hotel in Kanab, Utah. So that's where we got our hotel, and that was a 2-hour 45-minute drive, about a 3-hour drive. And with kids, somebody needs to pee, so you might have to take an extra stop here and there. So it was a 3-hour drive to Utah from Las Vegas. So we did that, and we reached our hotel close to the evening time, and we checked in. So yeah. And so that was day one. So day two, let's go on to day two. In the morning, we had reached Kanab, Utah, and from there, our first park that we wanted to go to was Zion National Park. So that was about a 30-minute to 45-minute drive to Zion National Park. So that wasn't too far from Kanab. So that worked out really well. Let me just make sure it's correct. Just so you know, I am, anyone who knows me, I am a color-coded OCD fan of making lists and itineraries and timing things and all that. So anyone who knows me personally knows that I've gotten into that recently. So yeah, all right. So yeah, Zion was 30 minutes from our hotel. So we went to Zion and enjoyed the day there. They have a shuttle service that if you, because the park itself, you have to park at the beginning, and the park itself, if you want to walk, it's like 18 miles or something ridiculous. It's like really a lot of walking. But they have a shuttle that goes from where you parked through the entire park, and it takes you at different stops along the way, like Angel's Landing and the Narrows and all those highlights that you might have probably heard about. To go to each one of those, it's a lot of walking in between. So I recommend the shuttle. The way the shuttle works is you have to go to recreation.gov, and it's a $1 per person entry fee, and you have to buy that shuttle ticket ahead of time. So if you are planning this trip way in advance, I would recommend that you check in. So the date that you want to book it, I believe it's about 2 weeks before, like to the dot, they open the tickets up, and then they let people buy them, and then they close it for that 2-week forward period. So they'll close that. And then the second chance that you get to buy the tickets are the day before. So the day before you're going. So we had kind of planned this a little bit last minute, but not really. But I had missed that first deadline. So I bought the tickets the day before. I know I was going to Zion at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So kind of put a timer on your phone, figure out your time conversions, and if you put a timer on your phone and buy those tickets at 5 o'clock the day before or 2 weeks in advance, whatever is easier, because when you get to Zion, the lines are very long. So people who have not bought those tickets and they are waiting in line to get same day tickets, the lines are very long. And I heard people, like families, they were like, okay, we're giving up and we're just gonna walk it. And I was like, don't do that. You have little kids, and it's just not a good idea. So yeah, definitely get the shuttle tickets in advance, $1 per person on recreation.gov. So we did that, and that was amazing. We could get on and off at any time. Once you have that ticket, they give you that band on your hand. They'll scan the QR code and put that band on your hand, and you can get on and off the shuttle at any point. So we got on at every single point and took pictures and walked a little bit, took some hikes. We took the hike to the Narrows, and that was really exciting. very nice and easy hike for the kids. So we looked at what was easy for the kids, and we chose those hikes. So yeah, so we did that, and also at Zion we did Canyon Overlook Trail. We did half of the trail because yes, this is one of their easier trails, but there are narrow portions where you're kind of right at the edge, and it was with the young children. It was giving me a little bit of anxiety. So I would recommend that trail if you have older kids. I have one that's still young, and so the older ones were excited, they wanted to go, but I have one younger one who was getting a little scared. So I would recommend, if you have older kids, like teenagers or preteens, definitely Canyon Overlook Trail. There is limited parking there. Once you park there, it's after that, it's a little bit of a hike, and I think about 2 miles or so, and the views are stunning. That's what I heard. So yeah, so those are the 2 hikes I recommend: hiking to the Narrows and the Canyon Overlook Trail. I heard the Emerald Pool Trail was also very nice with young kids. Something else I would recommend is pick up these booklets at the visitor center. This will keep your kids busy for a long time. So these long hour drives that I'm telling you guys about, 2 hours, 3 hours, they're coming up. These types of booklets will keep the kids very busy. So Zion had their own, and this is just their map. And so pick those up because and then get the Junior Ranger badges. They'll give it to the parents. So when the booklets are complete, you check their booklet and you hand them their Junior Ranger badge, and they get excited with that. So yeah, so that was our day 2. So that was Zion National Park. We packed lunch over and took it with us. There is a eating area over there where we just got French fries because we had a packed lunch. And the view, when you're eating lunch, the view in front of you of the mountains is just stunning. So they do have one. I think it's near the lodge, I believe. They have a Zion Lodge or so. So the lunch area is there where you can get, burgers and hot dogs and all that kind of stuff. All right, let's go on to day 3. So I'm going to break this up into 2 videos, a Utah video and an Arizona video. So I'll just do what we did. I'll just talk about what we did in Utah. All right, so now we're on to day 3. So we did day 1 of getting into Las Vegas, day 2 driving Utah. So we drove to Utah on day 1, stayed in Utah, did Zion on day 2. And then on day 3, we decided to do something adventurous and fun. You can totally take this out of your trip if you don't want to, but we like to have a little bit of thrill every now and then. So we booked in a UTV with Southern Utah Adventure. Make sure if you are a frontline worker, a healthcare worker, or a teacher, a firefighter, they'll give you a 5% discount on this. We got the goggles. It's not necessary. I don't think you need goggles. And if you need a helmet, you can. We had to take it off. They were kind of heavy. And if you have sunglasses, that's good enough. So take your sunglasses with you when you get onto your UTV. And also, I would recommend that you get layers, gloves, hats, mufflers, or whatever, if you can, or scarves or something to take, because it does get cold when the wind's hitting against your face. It does feel very cold. So it's a good thing we put the kids' jackets in the trunk of the UTV, because we needed them. So when you're driving really quickly and on the road and the wind's hitting you, it's fun and exciting, but stay warm. So that's my recommendation. All right, so yeah, so with our UTV rental, we went over to Warner Valley. This was about a 1-hour drive from our hotel over to Warner Valley. Let's just make sure the driving is correct. Yeah. So we went over to Warner Valley, and that is known for its dinosaur tracks. It is said that there are dinosaur tracks fossilized in the rocks in this park. I think it's a state park. So that was pretty cool. That way you were driving amongst dinosaur tracks, and they have a portion, and the UTV people will give you a Google Maps direction of where to go exactly to get to the dinosaur tracks. So you kind of just follow the map along and on your phone. So have one person as the driver and one person as the direction giver when you guys are coordinating your UTV into Warner Valley. It is just desert and mountain plateaus, and it was fun. It was really fun to be able to let it out and just drive as fast as you want, or as slow as you want, whatever you want to do. So yeah, that was definitely a highlight when we got to the Warner Valley, into the dinosaur tracks. The kids got to trace it, and it was just exciting to be walking amongst an area where dinosaurs could have roamed. So yeah, so that was our so I will actually break this up into maybe 3 videos. That's what I'm going to do. So that was day 1, day 2, and day 3 of our itinerary for Utah. So Las Vegas, flew into there, and Utah. I have about another day and a half at Utah, and then I will talk about Grand Canyon. So I'll break this up into 3 videos. That way it's not too long, and it's easier to watch in portions if you only want to do one and not the other, or yeah. So there you go. All right, so that was day 1, day 2, day 3 of our Utah trip, and I will follow this up with a follow-up of day 4 and day 5, and another video of day 6 and day 7. All right, take care, guys. See you in the next one.